Welcome back, everyone. This is Rashad Woods, host of the T.R.O.N podcast. A very special guest today, all-around positive person, holistic healer, business owner, and more importantly, a boxing fan of Amanda Serrano. Really appreciate that, by the way. I have Miss Blanca Rodriguez. Thank you so much from beautiful Florida.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here, Rashad. What a joy and an honor it is for me to be here, definitely.
Very much appreciated. So just briefly, obviously we've been messaging a few times. Your background is very compelling. You go out of your way consistently to help people. So please tell us about your background.
Yes, absolutely. I'm the owner of Wounded Healer LLC, and under this umbrella, we provide services for massage therapy. I've been a massage therapist for 20 years. I'm a canine massage therapist for 9 years. Yes, canine massage exists, definitely. Holistic life coach. I'm a fitness instructor and professional dancer for over 40 years. My scope of practice is individuals 45 plus. I'm a speaker, educator, I'm Amazon bestselling co-author, and I'm a Toastmaster. So yes, lots of things to do. And my focus, my biggest purpose in life is help others improve their quality of life no matter what age we are. So definitely that's my life work.
That's fantastic. So, what I find interesting, especially people who have been successful and the people I've interviewed for this show, is that people who they're very, very giving of their time, their resources, their energy, and how they kind of did things. So can you kind of give us a background of what you did previously that led you to this path, that you've been able to dip your toe into so many different things?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I learned since I was a little girl from my parents that helping others is very important. My parents are Puerto Rican. I was born in New York City, and my parents were that big exodus of Puerto Ricans that came to the US in search for the American dream. This was back in the late 50s, early 60s. And my father, with lots of hard work and dedication, he really conquered the American dream. He was a very successful businessman, but the same way that he received abundance, he loved to share the abundance, and he will be helping a lot of people, awesome, to giving them jobs. Even if when he didn't need any employees, he still gave someone a job to do little things to make them productive and help them be productive. So that is an excellent way to help others, by giving them purpose and being productive and doing things that are meaningful in their lives. And my father was a very giving man. He will always be sending money to Puerto Rico to his parents, his brothers. We come from a very big family. And my mother at home, definitely, she was very, very much like my father about helping others and being there for others no matter their situation. So I come from this background that it was really instilled in me. And I am definitely, all the way to this day, I'm still a helper. I started by helping pets, and then helping people by serving tables, and then helping people by being a secretary. And then it kept on going and going and transitioning into everything that I do today. So I'm very happy about that.
Well, I have to say that based up, on the service industry in particular, when you talk about being a waitress, people can go multiple places to go eat, but the one thing they remember is their experience, right? How they were talked to, how they were treated. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with your giving and personality when it came to being able to service people and to find out a lot about people just by being at a restaurant and giving them great service.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. And I work in every type of restaurant you can imagine, from the cafeteria all the way to the 5-star restaurant. And beautiful. People, the most that they want, just like you said, is the experience. And us servers, I'm not a server anymore, but the type of service that we give is very important to define that experience, because you can have the best dishes, but if your servers suck, then there's going to be that part of the that part of the experience that is going to be, okay, this is a Debbie Downer here. What the hell am I doing here? So, yeah, and I have experience, as a customer myself, I have experienced the best servers and the ones that is like, okay, why are they here? They hate their job, and you can just see it, and the vibe is there. Yes, and service and demeanor definitely is a game changer, and it makes such a difference on anybody's experience, no matter what experience that is, definitely.
Now, how do you get into massages for canines? Like, I don't own any pets. I used to have them as a kid, right? Again, I'm not even everybody's rubbed their dog ear, or had their friends or been at a... How do you get into massage therapy for canines? Like, that's such an interesting career.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And the best part is that canine massage, well, any type of animal animal massage therapy is a very ancient practice as much as massage therapy for humans. A canine massage therapy has been
Really?
around since 2700 BC, and massage for humans have been around since 3000 BC.
Okay.
So yeah, and here in the state of Florida, in order for us to keep our licensing, we have to do continuing education, which is my favorite part of being a massage therapist because I'm
That's awesome.
always in student mode. I'm always learning
Right.
something, and it's a
Right.
beautiful thing. So I was looking for something to do that it's like, I want to do something different this year. And I found equine massage for horses. I'm like, wow, that sounds interesting. Those horses are huge and I am small. So I said,
Right.
okay, that's out of the question. So, and then I found in a magazine for dog lovers, canine
Yeah.
massage therapy. And I said, I want to do that. And I went to school. I invested quite a bit of money. It was an
Yeah.
investment. It was an investment on my education, an investment on my love for animals because I'm an animal lover myself. And
Right.
no, I don't have a dog right now because our beloved passed away.
Sorry
But
about that.
I really channel all of my energies into my dog loving through canine massage. And canine massage is not rubbing, it's not petting. Canine massage is the manipulation of muscle with the purpose of
Right.
healing and or relaxation, just like humans, definitely.
And obviously we've seen like YouTube videos, and obviously your training speaks for itself. What's the response from a dog who finally gets a massage because their joints take a very large beating because of certain breeds are more susceptible to joint and
Mm-hmm.
cartilage and hip issues and things like that. So I'm sure that that's got to be some very thankful owners that they've been able to really get their dog and feeling much better. That's great. That's such a great profession
Yes.
because I don't think it kind of flies under the radar.
Yes, absolutely. And unfortunately, it really does fly under the radar. I mean, any kind of animal massage therapy has been known here in the US only since the 70s. So it's
Okay.
relatively
Okay.
new, but it's been
Right.
around for thousands of years, of course. But the beauty of massage for canines is
Mhm.
this. The dog receives the service, the dog
Mhm.
turns around, the dog will tell you, yes, dogs don't speak, but they do have a lot of language.
Right.
And if we understand how to, I mean, if we get to understand the language of the dog, which I clearly do as part of my profession,
Mhm.
definitely it makes all the difference in the dog's life. And it's a powerful practice. And the dog loves to be massaged. There's a lot
Mhm.
of energy work. Dogs are very sensitive to touch, hypersensitive to touch, actually. So light pressure goes a long way, definitely with
Nice.
them. And they are really happy with the service. I am servicing 4 dogs on a weekly basis right now.
Wow.
And I have massage from puppies all the way to end of life. So I've been with the dog and the human companion all the way to before they get put down.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but it's soothing for the animal. It's helpful for both parties.
Right.
And the massage therapy on dogs is one of the most amazing experiences that I ever had as a professional because you know when they are at ease. And just like humans, how do we know when someone is in a calm state? Exactly the same with the dog.
Right.
And this is the thing with
Right.
humans, I turn you around. How you feeling? Okay, we're done with the session. I'll be right outside. With the
Right.
dog, when they are done, because they are done with their session, they just get up and leave. And that's the session. So, and most of my clients, they stay 45 minutes to an hour, and that's a record for any animal. So, yes, I'm very proud
Wow.
and honored to serve all of the dogs that I have served throughout my career.
What a beautiful line of work. When you talked about end of
Thank you.
life, it's kind of, hey, listen, I owned pets as a kid and I cried like a baby when my dogs passed away. I mean,
Yes,
it's a,
absolutely, absolutely. I cry too, but it's a great way of being present and being supportive, and of course
of
for the
course,
comfort of the animal, which is the most
beautiful.
important thing.
How did now about your fitness instructing? I thought that was absolutely wonderful. You seem like you're dancing. You obviously you talked about that earlier, and then I saw some of your posts that you did about dancing. Can you just briefly explain like your fitness background and your dancing as well too?
Yes, absolutely. Ever since I have use of my memory, ever since I can remember, I've been dancing. My
Right.
parents, they were avid music lovers. They had this huge collection of LPs, long playing records, the big ones back in the day. And I would dance to anything that my parents would put. So fast forward, I started dancing. I started to be a trained dancer. I'm a fully trained dancer. I'm a professional dancer. I started since a very early stage. I started teaching kids about dance when I was 18 years old. So it's been 42 years that I've been teaching consistently. I have taught everything from dancing, aerobics back in the 90s. Oh my goodness. I taught aerobics many times. Yes.
Right. That's awesome.
And then the latest that I'm doing, I'm doing many kinds of Zumba instruction, but I do it with toning. Toning our muscles is so important to keep good structure. Okay.
Absolutely.
And especially as we age. And my focus of attention now is teaching people 45 plus, 55 plus. I have taught at many neighborhoods that are 55 plus active living communities. And it's a beautiful thing to see how these seniors, they get involved, and not only helps them tremendously with their body structures for feeling better, sleeping better, but the social skills as well. There's a lot of people that are widowers, and they love to socialize. They make friends, they feel better, they do better. And of course, they have a healthier lifestyle just because of doing some kind of movement. And I do in the classroom, I do some of my classes in the water, I do it with chairs. So there is no excuse for anybody that is an aging to not do any physical activity, because physical activity is vital for quality of life, no matter what age we are, especially as we age, because hormonal systems are changing.
Correct.
And there's a decrease in muscle mass. And the more we keep our muscle mass, the better off we will be through our senior years.
Yeah, it's really great too, because it's been proven and studies have shown that the more you stay active, your brain cells actually stay stimulated and things like that. The worst thing you can do, barring a very significant injury, is sitting for long periods of time, right?
Exactly.
It's so detrimental for you. And, the activity and the movement. What I found interesting was just the fact that, you've done this for so long, and kind of to segue into your dancing a bit, oftentimes, and you said you did, fitness instructing in the 90s, there's always like phases and what I hate to say fads, but there's always periods of time where something gets really trendy. So do you see people like, ooh, this is the, the 5-year trend, like 1 minute it's Zumba, and I'm not disrespecting any dance style.
Oh,
but, there's always that YouTube sensation, this is the 3-year period kind of deal. Did you ever see that happen in your times?
Yes, absolutely. Since way back in the day, there was no YouTube, no internet. It was, the new craze is jazzercise, and jazzercise is still around. I couldn't believe it that it's still around, but it means that at some point there is effectivity there, because if it's still around 40 years after jazzercise started, it's like, okay, then hey, it means that it works for some. And then there's so many kinds of workouts nowadays. There's something for everybody to choose. But what I have found in my vast experience as a fitness instructor, using toning, using weights, dancing, the whole shenanigans, what I find very interesting is that the combination of stretching, cardio, very important, the cardio, weight training, and any kind of physical activity where both lobes of the brain are involved. What you do on the right side, you go ahead and do it on the left. Highly beneficial for everybody, especially as we age. You're using both lobes of the brain. You're using both sides of the body, remembering that we have a left arm and a right hand for a reason. And of course, I'm a right-handed person, but I train myself to do almost everything with my left hand. And this is when massage therapy helped me do this. And it's very important, because when you got something twitching on your back that you cannot turn to the right side, it's like, okay, I have a left hand. I don't have to worry about it. So it works out differently. So definitely using our muscle mass to the best of our ability, understanding the movements is very important, because the more informed we are about something, the better it is to understand. And understanding movement, understanding why shoulders should be in a neutral position, why our backs should be in a neutral position, not arching or slouching. And it's because all about our anatomy. The more straight we are, the more calm our bodies will be. Isn't that amazing?
It is, absolutely.
And this is when any kind of physical activity is so highly recommended, from walking, swimming, whatever it is that it calls your attention, please go ahead and try it. Try it all. And you can change. I mean, you won't go bored with the same routine. I mean, I don't go bored ever. I teach, but I'm a student. Go to Zumba classes as a student. I do Pilates, I do yoga, I do weight training, and I need all of these for better quality of my own life, because I have wear and tear. I was a dancer for many years. I was a server for many years. And of course, I have wear and tear. I mean, this body has high mileage, bro. And the best way to keep it is by keeping it active. Yeah.
Well, it's funny, right? When it comes to maintaining your vehicle or maintaining something, in your house, you'll go make sure that round the clock to hey, this is the maintenance schedule for the vehicle, this is the maintenance schedule for the furnace, the water tank, etc. And then people, they're like, hey, when have you ever invested in your own body? Do you have a schedule to maintain your own body? Do you have like any sort of consistent workout regimen, fitness regimen? And then it transitions to, and just to segue a bit, you're owner of the company Wounded Healers. So I'm sure that you probably, I would imagine, tell your clients that, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, you can't come in here for a one session. You have to create lifestyle changes in order to see the best results. Am I incorrect by saying that?
Without a doubt. And and in order to help others do some lifestyle changes, I had to do the lifestyle changes myself. I got to start, I got to practice what I preach, because then it will be good for nothing and it will be a fake. So what I highly recommend to everybody is be consistent. Start with a little. It's like the case of resolutions, okay? People do all of these resolutions for the new year, and it's so heavy. The burden is so heavy and so heavy that by the second week of January, you're done because it was too much for you. Right. And I'm a true believer that if you start with a little, you can gain a lot. Definitely. Start with micro goals, and all those micro goals can come together into the bigger goal. And so you're not over putting all that pressure on yourself, that what will happen when the pressure is on and on and on and on and on, you will be okay. It's like, okay, I'm not doing anything. And that's when procrastination happens. That's when frustration happens. That's when it takes people down a rabbit hole of even depression and anxiety that is totally unnecessary. Start with a little and you will see how far you can go.
I will also add on to that too. I was reading when people were talking about making lifestyle changes, and that, to your point, when it came to a resolution, sometimes people look at that as a short period of time to make a change for, well, as long as I do this for 3 months, I'm going to get this. Like, you can't look at it as short term. It has to be something it has to be a goal that you want to make something in your lifestyle. Because if you set a window on a resolution, right? If you say, I'm going to do this in January, I just need to look good by August. Well, you're going to fail. Or you'll have a window where you're doing good, but then when the fall hits, you're going to go right back to what you were doing.
That's right. That's right. Definitely. Without a doubt. Yeah, I learned that too, that, okay, yes, I learned that as well. And definitely my career as a dancer, being so disciplined and consistent and going on and on. It's like, no, you repeat, because the repetition is the mother of all skill. And setting, limiting goals, like, okay, I start in January and by August I'm going to be fine. But by October, it all went to shreds and it all went downhill, because let me tell you something. This is a reality of our bodies, and anatomically speaking, it takes a long time to build muscle. It takes a long time, but it takes a short time to fall off the wagon and go straight back to square one. And that's when consistency is so important. That's when getting your ass to the gym is so important. And not only the gym, you go for a walk, you go for a swim, you go for a run. You got so many options that really doesn't even have to involve a gym. So in my experience, stop making excuses. When we want something, we make it happen, no matter what. When we want something that bad, we make the time, no matter what, to make that happen for the good, for better or worse, whatever the case may be. So how about making that happen, making that purpose for the better of yourself. Because
Absolutely.
this is, I mean, this is the thing. The great father of medicine, Hippocrates, he used to say that with massage therapy, fresh air, music, physical activity, and good eating habits, the body will stay in a healthy state. And to this day, I totally believe that's true.
Well, yeah, and that's wonderful too, because ultimately it's, I've always looked this up too, because I was always curious about it myself. If you go to the National Institute of Dietitians, there's not a single actual pill that will cut fat in a human body. Like, we look at all these, I'm not knocking supplements, like some of them are I'm not here to bash supplements and take a side to it, but it underscores the fact that the only thing that's going to ultimately get you in shape is your hard work. And there's no magic bullet that you can digest on a day-by-day basis that's going to be like, you don't have to be active, you can just sit on the couch and all that's just going to magically go. Like, it's not going to happen.
That's not true.
So
it's not real.
No, it is absolutely not true. I want to talk about you're a co-author, and you obviously you're prolific in a number of fields. Can you talk about your writing, please?
Yes, absolutely. The name of my book is, oh my God. The name of my book is Impact Leadership with Blanca Rodriguez. I am available in Amazon Kindle and paperback as well. And basically this is, I am in conjunction. We make a collaboration between 29 different co-authors from all over the world, from all walks of life. Myself and our stories, including mine, of course, is a story of falling down, going into dark seasons in life, and getting the hell back up, keeping on going, and definitely going through the other side. These are stories of that thing about situations that could have been so much worse than it was, and how grateful we all are, all of us in this collaboration, how grateful we are to share our story of definitely not giving up.
Beautiful.
Making sure to learn the lesson, because behind every tragedy, behind every fall, there's always a lesson involved. And the lesson, at least for me, is to help others through my experience make better decisions for themselves. And it's about helping, because I cannot do it for you. It's about helping. It's about accountability. It's about coaching people, and sharing my story is it can be a beacon of hope for many. It is proven that 2/3 of all children from all over the world will have a horrible experience by the time they turn 16 years old, whether it is the tragic passing of a loved one, being bullied by family members and or at school, or sexual assault. I've been through all three of these by the time I was 9 years old. I live in a world of silence for 47 years of my life. And through this book, I said, I am not keeping silent anymore. I'm going to say it all. And just like I did this, that it has been one of the most liberating and empowering experiences of my life, so can others. And I'm sure, I know this from heart, that a lot of people, they stay silent like I did. And staying silent, it can help you in a certain way, but it will be your downhill fall on the long run. So don't do what I did, and speak up. And this is what this book is all about.
I think the work you do is absolutely beautiful, because I know you had said I was reading in some of your information as well too, that you work with sexual assault survivors as well too. And I can't even begin to imagine the stories you've heard and things that people have gone through. I think that's a wonderful line of work for very people with a very big heart, right? With a very big heart who do that kind of work. And
thank you. Of course, absolutely. It's a big purpose and a big mission of my life to help others, especially in that aspect. I'm a volunteer for the Inner Truth Project here in Florida. It's a beautiful platform that helps sexual assault, sexual violence survivors, not only women, but men as well. Very important. Because especially men, the silence, if us women, we keep silent when it comes to a sexual assault, and men, it's even more the silence. And it's a very powerful platform that definitely help others, and I'm very honored to be part of it.
That's I was blown away. You had your toes in, and I say this very respectfully, you're like, oh, dancing, holistic medicine, you're like, all these things that are in your head are like bubbly things, and you're like, oh, by the way, I do this for people, which you're like, is a big heart to have to do that, and it comes from such a pure place. And a lot of people unfortunately have to suffer in silence. So thank you so much for that work that you do in that regard.
Thank you. Of course, anytime.
I got to tell you, one question I want to know is, how can people find you? You don't need me, obviously, to you're doing successful on your own, but just for the purpose of this show, how can people find Blanca Rodriguez?
Yes, of course. You can find me at my website, www.woundedhealer.us. I am in Instagram, Facebook, TikTok under woundedhealer.blanca.e.
Wonderful
When
video
I
too.
go, when I go to my lives, I always talk about things that are really meaningful. I am not here to blah, 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 people into drama and all that stuff, but things that can be helpful for others as much as it helps me. That is for sure. So I'm very, very happy to be open about all of these conversations because it's very important. And in this society, in this world where things are so fast, so quick, so mean, there's got to be a beacon of hope. And this right here, you and I, Rashad, is a beacon of hope for many. So thank you for having me here.
No, I appreciate it. Life will, the thing is about it too is, if you get down the internet long enough, you'll find something that'll make you mad. But when you really, everybody can do that. But the key is to focus on the things that make you happy, bring you joy. And the work that you do, I would much rather go on your page about somebody trying to help somebody than, for whatever reason, focus on the negatives. Because, it's very easy to go down that dark hole. It's hard to bring out of it. But when you stay with people like you and the message that you bring and the good that you do, those messages resonates, globally, locally. And to me, I was immediately attracted when I saw your profile to the positive vibes you were giving. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep. Looking forward to talking to you soon. You have a wonderful day, okay?
You too. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.